Assalamu alaikum, guys. Welcome to your second weekly installment of Muslim Basketball Podcast for the Central League. I'm your host, Ibrahim Sharaf, and the only guy that really matters at this table right now.
Goodness. Assalamualaikum, my name is Yusuf.
Assalamualaikum, Ryan Abanda.
All right,
let's start at game one.
let's start with some announcements.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay. Announcements. Yeah. See? Okay, so first of all, this kind of goes without saying. There were a couple of games that it was kind of disgusting what we saw. Me and Yusuf were kind of perched up at the bleachers the entire time after our game. We had the first game, and we kind of saw everything that happened. And there were some people that were arguing with the refs. It got pretty disrespectful. I talked to the refs after the game as well, and they weren't happy. They've been reffing for years and years and years at all levels, kids, adults, teenagers, whatever it is, and they had found that our group was one of the most disrespectful groups, and that's a shame. We're representing Muslims everywhere with our league. Our league is literally called Muslim Basketball, and that's just we're above that. The Sahaba and the Prophet ﷺ were known for their character, right? And we want to leave the example that wow, these people are they have such good character. They're good people. They don't curse. They're honest people. And we did the exact opposite last week, and it was just it was something that we can't let that happen again.
We're representing Muslims and Islam everywhere. And that kind of behavior is just unacceptable. So there will be texts issued next week if the same behavior continues. And there is going to be a zero tolerance policy with disrespect towards the refs. You
may be suspended for games. That's the last thing we want to happen. We want to have a league where everybody's, showing up, having a great time. Mm-hmm. But, I think don't talk back to the refs. If they make a call, they make a call. They're professionals. They know what they're doing. If you want to talk to the refs, you come correct. You come with respect. There's an etiquette to talking to the refs. Be like, hey, I noticed that they're doing this. Can you keep an eye on it for it? It's there's decorum. Keep a level of respect with these people for the games.
But even on a more fundamental level, if we keep disrespecting refs, we're not gonna have any refs to ref our games. So if you guys just want games, maybe treat these guys a little nicer. Also, it helps if you want calls to be a little bit nicer to the refs. I feel like if you scream at the refs, they're not really going to give you calls.
Yeah. No, not to mention, I was actually...
Unless you're LeBron. I don't know.
In other Muslim leagues, they have volunteer refs. And let me tell you something, that is not the wave. Professional refs are definitely the way to go. And we also have to remember that they're human as well. They miss calls. Lord knows, I was fouling Mahmoud Zaid all game last week. And I did not only foul twice.
But yeah. All right, so without further ado, we'll go into our first matchup of the week. So we have Bir Seb'a against Akka.
So, it's a tragedy.
Yeah, so me and Yusuf are a part of Akka, and we're 0-2 now. So this part of
what happened?
This part of the podcast is probably our least favorite part. All right, so
I rip it off like a band.
Yeah, let's just do it. Okay, so obviously we didn't really have. I don't know, Rand, did you watch the game?
I did.
You did? Okay, so first let's get into what your analysis was, what you saw, what you didn't see, whatever it is, and then we'll kind of, because me and Yusuf were in the game, it's kind of different. We have our biases, we have our game goggles on, it's different than, being on the side.
Okay, so here's what I'll say. I'll say that your team kind of needs a little bit more time to gel together. You definitely have a lot of really good pieces, but it almost seems like you guys are playing 5 1-on-1s. I feel like if you guys, obviously your defense is there. I would say swing the rock more. We were playing pickup not even a few weeks before the league started, and their same kind of core group were killing us in pickup, with the back cuts, with coming off screens.
The movement,
the movement was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So to not see it translate is kind of a shame.
Yeah.
Another reason Omar Khan didn't have his best game. That's definitely a top player for you. So for him to not show up is obviously gonna affect the outcome. But also you got to give it up to Salim and Ayman on the other team. They just weren't missing.
Yeah. So no, they were missing.
They were missing, but they were scored.
Yeah.
They were
I would say obviously, first of all, hats off to the other team. They did a great job. It was a physical game, rough game for the both of us.
Two very big defensive teams.
Yeah, I was gonna say that both of our defenses were on point.
Defense was there.
We came into this game. Our game plan was we locked down Abdullah Shabazz, we locked down Mahmoud Zayed, and we limit Ayman. That was our plan.
We knew Ayman was gonna hit shots.
Yeah, we thought that those three were their primary players, and we didn't know about the rest of their team pretty much. Me and Yusuf missed the first game of last week, so we didn't really get to see them play at all. This is our first kind of experience with them. And we accomplished what we came in to do. Shabazz was 0 for 3, Ayman was 6 for 15, so we really held him down to, much less, he was shooting way worse than he did last week. Last week he had 21 and 9. This week he had 13 points. So 6 for 15 shooting. That's I think we did our job with that. And Mahmoud Zayed was 1 for 6. He had finished with 2 points. So I think we shut down the core group that we set out what we set out to do. But that also opened the door for Salim to come out with 14 points, shooting 5 for 14. Right? And there was one specific play that I was thinking about. Our team decided to press, and half the team pressed, half the team didn't. It was a miscommunication. Salim ended up faking a pass. I went for it, and then he, dashed past me to the other side, got a layup. Our player had to foul him. I think it was an and one too. So there were tons of plays like that, and our team wasn't able to really adjust for it. The good things, I would say, me and Yusuf, I felt like we shot really well. I was 6 for 10 at 60% shooting. Yusuf had 3 for 5, another 60% shooting. So I ended up being the leading scorer at 13 points. The other team did a really good job of making me uncomfortable. I never got the ball in my spots. It was always, the only way I scored was through cuts and through, I had a 3 at one point. And so, hats off to the other team for what they did. They did a really good job at defending us.
I would say some feedback for them as well. I feel like they really need to get the ball moving as well. Because the movement was a problem on both ends. We were also limiting their movement. Because they usually do, I feel like, score a little better than they usually than they usually do.
Okay, I will say though, the big swing here has to be, Sharif scoring 7, grabbing 8 boards.
So I actually
assist
think
to steal all over the
I think there was a mistake made. I'm not sure. I don't think Sharif scored 7. Did we talk about that? Because I think somebody else was wearing his jersey number or something like that.
It must have been,
because I don't remember him scoring 7. I really don't. I think it might have been Yusuf Abdelaziz that scored the 7
8
points.
boards for Sharif.
Yeah,
no way.
I think it was Yusuf Abdelaziz. I think there might have been some mistake on the stat sheet for that, but we could be wrong.
Sharif's a hustler. But I don't think he got.
Absolutely.
I don't think he got 8 boards.
I remember him balling out there. And then
did he score? Do you remember him scoring?
I do. I remember.
Oh, okay. So maybe we're wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry,
no,
Chief.
I totally. I remember him scoring, and I remember him grabbing boards.
Okay. So maybe we're wrong then.
Dude, he was an impact player.
Yeah.
He definitely was an impact player.
Yeah, maybe we got those goggles on.
That's what I'm saying. It's when you're in the game, it's completely different. You can't.
Yeah. No. Something. Yeah. I need to work on my stamina, man. I feel like running up and down the court with Zayn, it was gassing me out.
You did a good job.
I know.
But I think feedback for our team, huge thing was spacing. We had horrible spacing on we couldn't swing the rock. People were just bunched up together. It was a mess.
We got 3-second violations called.
Yeah, it was sloppy. We had 2 3-second violations called. You know what I mean? And they were back-to-back plays.
Yeah.
It was just dude, we just got back on offense. Dude. And then now it's a turnover immediately. And
another thing I'll say, Arrays, you're my boy. I know you can hoop, but you put up a Draymond Green stat line with 0.5 personal fouls, man.
To be fair, he did get hurt. He did go up for a layup. He was hit in the air and he landed on his shoulder, and so he might be out this week. Coming up,
he was a little early.
Yeah, he came back, but he fouled out. So our team also had a lot of foul trouble for sure.
Yeah. The first half, man, it seemed up every single time you guys came down the court, it had to have ended in a foul shot for you guys. You guys killed us on the foul shots, 8 for 14 as opposed to our 2 for 3. So you guys destroyed us.
Yeah, we got 3 fouls.
We have to learn how to defend without fouling.
Yeah, I was surprised that we ended up keeping up in terms of the rebounds. It was pretty much neck and neck, which was.
Ayman was.
Ayman was all over it, but we ended up as a team getting 20 rebounds. Their team got 23 rebounds. We ended up being up there with it.
Wow, dude, Sharif and Ayman have the same amount of rebounds.
Yeah, dude,
unbelievable.
Literally unbelievable.
Yeah, that's really good. I talked to Zayed after the game. He was talking about how their defense was really good. They ended up drawing a charge. He was proud of that. So
That was kind of wild.
yeah, it was a little bit contested in my opinion.
It
But
was
like,
wild.
let's remove our biases
We'll give it
here.
to 'em.
Refs called the
Human refs.
refs called the charge. We respect the call. It is what it is. But yeah, he was saying ball movement could have been better. More people being involved is what they'd want to do next time, and I think I agree with him for that.
We were talking to Eamon actually after the game, and he was saying that one of the things that they did on defense was they guarded Hikmat and Usman a little bit off, and they were able to help off of them too. So maybe
we need to get them involved with
yeah.
ball
So
movement.
we have to focus on seeing their defensive scheme and just like noticing those weeknesses and just exploiting those.
Besides that, it was a low-scoring game, 36-29. I think that's testament to the defense of both teams. 7-point difference, not really that crazy.
It was close to the last 2 minutes or whatever it was. And then foul troubling. Yeah.
But I think that's what I got to say about
But
this game.
mashallah, congrats to Bir Seb'a on their first win?
Second win. Yeah, they're undefeated right now.
Undefeated.
So yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
I think they're what, second on the power rankings?
Yeah, they're up there.
Yeah.
Second. And actually, your game would be game of the week if it wasn't for the next game that happened.
No, there were a ton of really good games this week, except the last game.
This game was.
But this game was tight. Next game was tighter, and the game after that even was even closer. It was just a bunch of really good games.
Yeah,
this
down
week.
to free throws.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready to move on to the next game?
Believe me, I am more than ready, bro. I don't want to talk about that game
Yunis
anymore.
versus
I hate talking
Yeah,
about
oh man, that was
If we
next
lose-
week. Next week we're gonna be talking about our game, and one of us is gonna be happy here because it's us versus.
Well,
versus
I'm
AFC.
excited personally.
Yeah, me too. I am too.
I'm excited.
If we lose next week, I'm not going to the podcast. I can't sit here and talk to you about how you beat me. I can't.
Yeah, Ryan will be doing this podcast alone if we lose next week.
All right, we're hiring new hosts because we both know how the game's gonna go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Skipping the predictions. I see.
All right, week 2. Here we go. Khan Yunis.
Yeah.
How do you say the names?
Khan Yunis versus Tulkarem.
Tulkarem. All right. This was a close game. Final score was 62-59. Wow. This
Yeah,
game
high
was a
scoring game.
nail
Yeah.
biter.
So to be fair, the game for the beginning of the game, Khan Yunis came out to an early lead. Right, they were ahead by about 10 to 12 points for a good amount of time.
They were hitting some crazy shots.
Hassan Zakir hit 16 points. He had 3 threes in a row pretty much at one point. Didn't shoot the ball especially well. It was 6 for 21 at the end of the night, but he had 3 in a row that the team needed pretty much because Tulkarem came back, with a vengeance. They came and cut the lead down to 2 points. It all came down to a final shot. Like at the end of the day, at the end of the game, Khan Yunis came up with a really it was smart of them. They started fouling to avoid that. When they were down by 3, they started fouling the other team. They were up by 3. I'm sorry. Khan Yunis was up by 3. They started fouling the other team whenever they get the ball to force a 1-and-1, just so that they can keep their lead. Very smart play. As you see, a lot of NBA coaches starting to adopt that, where they'll start fouling instead of risking them shooting a 3.
Right.
But at the end of the day, Tulkarem ended up getting a pretty good lookout. Subhan ended up getting a turnaround 3-pointer. Hit off the glass. I think it went a little too high on that.
Oh
so
my
it hit the
goodness,
front rim.
Subhan! I didn't realize this watching the game, but Subhan went 4 for 19 that game.
Not good.
That's insane.
Not good.
Yeah.
That's actually insane. And as opposed to the other team, so Khan Yunis is actually, this is the first time we're seeing them play because they forfeited last week. But they had 4 players in double digits.
Four players. I was just looking at that.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You can spread if you're able to spread the
the
ball
love.
like that. It's like it opens up so much. If you have 4 threats on offense, it's crazy.
We were actually talking to Omar Khattak. I think he was saying 3 of their players are varsity players. Definitely no shortage of talent
Yeah,
on
their
that team.
center-
They're pretty good.
He
Their
said-
center with a double-double, 11 and 12, man.
One of the
Yeah.
varsity players was varsity soccer. He wasn't actually a varsity.
But again, they have 3 players with 8 assists. They're really. It was a phenomenal showcase.
Yeah.
But it was a phenomenal showcase on both ends. I feel like either team could have really won that game.
Oh, rebounds, you mean?
3
players with 8 rebounds.
Yeah, with 8 rebounds.
Wow.
Sorry.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say-
AK-47 with a double-double. That's crazy.
I mean, dude,
Mashallah.
this was really there's so much talent on the court at the same time. Mashallah, it was a very, very fun game to watch. Not really much to say about either team in terms of playing better because I feel like they both brought their A game.
They both put on a clinic, dude.
But they're both offensive juggernauts.
They are.
Yeah.
When I was watching though, Yunis missed a bunch of open shots, but then they would come back. They found the shot again. They found the rhythm, and they started making them again. So I mean, I guess that's good for morale. I would say they didn't keep their heads down and kind of lose it. They came back and started making shots and stuff like that.
And if you're just looking at the stat sheet, they completely out-rebounded the other team. 48 to 31 rebounds.
And the other team is tall, too. They have two guys, like Aaron and somebody else. What's the other guy's name? Who's 6'5"? Two of them. Aaron and Emil. Yeah, Aaron and Emil. So they're tall guys.
What I mean is, if you have that many more rebounds, you're able to just go and take more. You just get more possessions. It's so much easier, you know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it was pretty good. The Khan Yunis was really good at driving the ball in. I noticed Jazib is really good at that.
Jazib, honestly. I mean, I've seen you shoot before,
How did he do? Did we read out his stat line?
Jazib? Oh, man, here we go. He's 12, 8, and 2.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Dude's insane, man.
He drives the ball really well, knows how to get to the free throw line. He shot 2 for 4 from the free throw line. Not too hot, but,
he's not a shooter. I mean, 0 for 4 from 3. I mean,
speaking of threes, Omar Khattak hit a 3 with a broken wrist.
Oh my god.
This guy came in with a cast, wasn't supposed to play, had to play for one of his teammates.
Bro.
And dude shot, I think, what did he shoot? What's his
2 for 6?
Yeah, 2 for 6. Still, hit 2 threes, which is unbelievable.
Bro, this guy actually he had a broken ankle, and he came in during our MCMC league, and he hit a bucket, and he was like, "Yeah, sub me out, I'm done." I just wanted one, bro.
Yeah, when he's back to full strength, they'll be deadly because he's really good at distributing the ball as well, and he's a scoring threat himself. So
and he's usually he was one of the stronger players on our MCMC team. So when they get a fifth player that's for sure gonna hit 10 points, they're very offensively.
But talk about a nail biter with 36 seconds left. It was a 4-point game. With 18 seconds left, it was down to a 1-point game with Khan Yunis leading. So definitely some timely buckets on both sides for them to get. It was. We were watching that game and it was just like wish I had some pizza.
Did we even mention? Are you serious?
The next game we had pizza. We had pizza the next game.
Did we talk about Talha?
No, we didn't.
His threes? Wait, bro! At the end of the game, he hit 2 clutch threes.
I don't know the names. That's why.
It was the guy with the orange shoes. The guy that I was like, oh, he's a sleeper last week.
Okay.
Bro, he hit 2 clutch threes, almost sending it to.
Is he number 5?
I'm not sure. It doesn't say on there. But he was the one who brought them back into it because there was a lead up until the last couple minutes.
Yeah.
And he hit those threes. They started pressing up. They got all the momentum off of him. He was a huge motivator for that team.
Can you find out who number 5 is? Because whoever that is, he hit 2 clutch free throws. Remember, I was just saying they were down by 1 with 18 seconds left. He was on Khan Yunis. Scored. He got fouled. Hit 2 free throws with ice in his veins.
Yeah.
To really give them that 3-point lead. Because if it wasn't a 3-point lead, you're now in trouble. You have people. They have size. They get inside. They get fouled. That's 2 free throws that could tie the game up for overtime. They can risk getting the win off the 3. It was so those free throws were big. I think it might have been Hassan actually. Can you check?
Yeah, I mean, Talha was the leading scorer of the game.
On the other team, right?
Oh, this one?
Yeah, no, I mean on the white team. I meant Tulkarem, yeah, Talha. Yeah. Talha was he one hit all the threes? Yeah, that's what you were just talking about. Sorry. Yeah. No, yeah, he was 5 for 12. He left. I actually talked to the team afterwards. I wanted to talk. He ended up leaving before I got a chance to talk to him. He's the one who kept him in it. He kept hitting those threes and really they were down by 12, and it was those threes that kept him in it. They just, he hit 5 for 12. That's pretty impressive.
They had the whole gym on their feet. It was actually a very, very exciting game to watch. Probably the most fun game to watch this week. This was definitely the top game.
One up there for sure. Yeah. I talked to the team after as well, and I talked to Jazib and Omar Osmani, and they pretty much were saying that to benefit their team, I think. They said that they wanted to, trust each other more. Everyone wanted to play ISO, and I think he wants to move the ball around. I think to make their team even better than what they did.
I think that has to do with Hassan taking 21. Hassan?
Yep, that's his name. Yeah. He hit those shots, and he made them. They were saying he was fortunate because he hit those shots. Once he hit those 9 points,
he takes 21 shots.
For sure. lot of
He takes
possessions
double
there.
the amount of shots as like the next leading person, and you have like 4 more points.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
got to get the efficiency out.
He did win Player of the Week this week. I think it was well deserved. They did need those threes, but definitely not so good on the field goal percentages.
Yeah, get the efficiency up, brother.
For sure. But he was saying that this was their first time playing together. You know what I mean? Like that's their first time playing together.
Yeah.
That's a pretty impressive show out for that.
They played well.
So,
for sure. All right.
And then the other team, hold up. We didn't really talk about them that much. Aaron was really, he had a big role this time. Last week he did not have that as much of a role. I say this week 7 for 13. He had 14 points, 9 rebounds, almost a double right there, 2 blocks. He showed up everywhere on the court. Like the stat sheet tells that story as well. He kept the team in it from from rebounding and getting the kick out for the second chance. And then we talked about Talha already hitting those threes. So that was,
honestly, I think Tulkarem could have done better with getting Emil more in the game, because he was he was actually like a threat when we played him.
Right.
And we had to actually watch out for him.
Mm-hmm.
And this game, he was doing good like efficiency wise. He was getting some rebounds, but he only put up 4 shots. You don't know how the game could have gone.
No,
for
it's
example,
true.
if
It's
he
true.
put up like 10.
If he got
as
the ball
opposed to
a little
whatever.
more.
But you know what actually ended up working as well for Tulkarem? They pressed on the second half, and it worked for them. They have 4 people with 2 steals. You know what I mean? Like a bunch of those guys, and then like who are Minhaj, Raheem, Subhan, and Talha all had 2 steals.
All they're small guys.
Yeah, and it all had to do with them pressing up on the ball the entire time. It made it so much more difficult for Khan Yunis, and I think it also helped facilitate that comeback.
Yeah. Overall, great game, dude. Super fun to watch. All right, all good.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
On to the next one.
Let's do it.
Kind of dreading this one.
Here we go. Love talking about losses.
All
right, so this game was Rafah.
Yeah. Rafah, yeah.
Rafah and Al-Balah. Al-Balah.
Yeah.
Oh, like okay, gotcha. Al-Balah. Final score was 33-37, 4-point loss for Rafah. So let's talk about it.
Tough loss.
Your team is Rafah?
Yeah.
Rafah. Okay.
Rafah.
Tell us about it. What's your take first before we give us our own? What do you think when you were in the game?
Okay. All right.
How did you feel? Tell us about it.
So I'm gonna be kind of critical of my team and myself first and foremost. 3 for 13, unacceptable. Can't be shooting 3 for 13. Malik, I kind of wish you showed up a little more, missing both free throws, going 0 for 3. I mean, he's in my eyes one of the better players in the league. I know he was injured, but I've seen him play better with worse injuries. So, I mean, but both of us not playing well is like a recipe for disaster right there. Going 1 for 8 from 3, unacceptable. I know that I could shoot better. I guess maybe I was just off. We had some of our other players maybe not having their best shooting nights. I had 4 turnovers. Okay. I will say though, I canceled it out with 3 steals, so technically it's like I had 1 turnover. if we're doing the math right.
That stat line is down bad.
No, the one I would say one shining light on your team was Sami Shahan, dude.
What?
Sammy put on a clinic.
Yeah.
Everything except the free throw shooting, he played so professionally, man. Like he was always, just like I said the first game, pushing the ball, pushing the pace, and at 75 years old. No, mashallah. I love watching him play.
He really knows how to use his body. You could see, like, it's not for his first time playing basketball by any means. He definitely
he's got the highest IQ.
Yeah. But you can seriously tell on the drive, especially he knows when to bump and when to use his body and still score the basket. So
and you weren't getting
a lot of
very
composure.
good basketball player.
You definitely weren't getting all the calls you wanted, but
he was pushed from behind at one point. We were watching from the side. We were like, oh,
yeah, no, that was
no
that
call.
was nice.
They actually called a foul on him, I think, on that play. It was just,
no, it was just a no call.
Okay.
Everyone was mad.
It was he looked like a hard fall multiple times too. It looks like he got a little frustrated after a couple times.
Tensions were high.
But yeah, it's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Just
but yeah,
so honestly though, Ryan, I would say out of the gate you had a pretty good contribution.
I scored all my 9 points in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
No, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I
didn't
saw
score
him.
after
He was
the first
taking
5
over
minutes.
from the beginning. He literally. I remember he got a steal and a hand behind the head
Bro,
layup.
after that, bro, I was feeling myself. I was ready to go.
Yeah, I was like, all right, big game coming from Rayyan, and then pretty disappointing after that. But like, you got your buckets in the beginning, gave your team a pretty good lead, kept your team in it honestly in the beginning, like. Because if you didn't have those 9 points at the beginning, it would have been a much worse.
Yeah, no,
the loss would have been much worse.
Something about Rayyan, man. Rayyan's confidence is always gonna be sky high. And bro, we were watching the game, me and Ayman, and we were actually recording the game, and I was focusing on recording, and Ayman just looks at me and goes, I don't know how Rayyan's taking these shots, man. Rayyan had just missed like 3 3-pointers, and without a moment's hesitation, chucks it up from the logo. We're like, what's going on?
Bro, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Man. You gotta just let it fly.
No, mashallah, love the confidence. You're gonna hit them, and it's gonna go insane.
Yo, inshallah, inshallah next week, bro. I don't miss.
You're getting 0 points next week. You know who's on you?
We'll see. We'll see. I do want to.
Mahmoud on the other team. I gave him advice last week to Al-Balah, I think, right? Yeah, Al-Balah. I gave advice to them to give the ball to Mahmoud, trust him with the ball handling, let him do the playmaking, and I wouldn't say that that's what he did. But
he didn't.
I wouldn't
He's
say
young though. He's young.
He is young.
He's
He
young.
had a very minimal impact on the game.
He lost the ball early twice, right? And you need to take care of the ball better if you want your team to trust you, especially coming in like you're the youngest player on the team. The team already knows that you check up shots sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? Like they know that, and so if you really want them to trust you, you really have to. Number one, take care of that ball, and number two, hit your teammates. Like, your first priority should be playmaking. It shouldn't be to score at this point in time. And obviously, your team knows you could score. You know, they know that, right? And obviously, if you have the open shot, take it. Or if you have the open drive, take it. But if you want those teammates to respect you and to trust you with the ball and have you as the primary playmaker, you got to move that ball around.
And not to mention, it all starts from
Couldn't agree
defense.
more.
Like, the easiest way to have an impact on a game is to lock down your guy.
Yeah.
And, like, you get a steal or two, no one's going to care if you lose the ball once or twice. You know?
As
like,
Rayyan
as Rayyan said,
I will say.
Sorry, before I don't mean to cut you off, but Mahmoud, what he did really well was he played off the ball and cut really well. Like, I was watching the game and I was impressed by the way he was, the lanes that he was taking. And he wasn't really hit too many times on those cuts. But if he plays that way, if you keep getting those cutting lanes, your teammates are gonna find you.
Yeah, no one. Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
No, you're good. A few of the big kind of difference makers of this game, I'm gonna say Adam Alwood showed up.
I was gonna say the exact same
Adam
thing.
Alwood showed up. 7 points, 5 boards.
Yes,
I mean,
Adam. This is the guy I was talking to last week. I was like, number 6, you changed the game when you're inside.
Yeah.
Completely changed the game.
Well, that's
won
that's
the game
all
for
I'm
them.
gonna go ahead.
Oh,
That's
that's
all
sorry.
I'm
I'm sorry.
And he
okay.
grabbed 6
wrong guy,
boards.
Wrong guy.
He
But yeah.
grabbed actually 7 boards.
I talked to him after the game. I was like, you won the game for your team.
Yeah.
Just by being that presence inside.
Yeah.
And
it's just
we kind of know Ahmed Ragib's gonna score. We know Mohamed Afifi, who he locked me up. I will admit that he locked me up in the second half of the game. He was kind of face guarding me from half. I couldn't really do much with the ball. I honestly, in hindsight, probably should have swung the rock a little bit more, but it is what it is.
Well, when you're the big dog, I'm sorry. Continue.
I probably probably maybe some ego was involved there with some of the shots I took. Another big difference maker is my team could just not figure out matchups on defense, and I think that's a huge reason we lost.
Yeah,
it is just easy points from them just swinging the ball to somebody who just cut before we had defensive defensive.
Like stability or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So, I think those were the big difference makers. But shout out to Adam Alwood. I think he really played really well this week.
Oh my goodness.
You know who else? There was number 1 on the white team. I'm sorry. This was
I think it was Mohamed.
Number 1 on Al-Balah. I'm sorry. I don't know the names that well, but he was their primary scorer from what I was watching. Like
we know he's going to show up, and we know. But when you have somebody who is kind of like the third option, kind of showing up and scoring 7 points, like that's really going to have a profound impact on the game.
I love watching teams like this where you have not a single person in double digits,
But everyone is scoring.
but everyone's scoring.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
means the ball's moving, everyone's getting
Yeah.
involved. It just makes it like,
Everybody
so
has
much.
opportunity.
Yeah, it's so much more fun to watch, and it's just like you were talking about earlier privately, positionless basketball.
Right.
Yeah, it's always so much fun to watch. But what I was looking at was the free throw differential.
Let's see what it is. So, Al-Balah went 4 for 6 for free throws, and wow, Rafah was 8 for 22.
Dude, you
Yeah.
guys hit
Wow,
some
you
free
hit
throws.
Yeah,
and
you
it's
hit some free throws.
over.
That game is different. That game is complete. You hit 4 more free throws. It's a tie game.
14 free throws? They're free.
They were missed. 14 missed free throws.
Remind me again who won your game?
14 missed free throws, not just 14 free
Oh
throws.
man.
Those that's big. Who missed the most free throws? Who? Sami
it's-
Shaban was 0 for 6.
Sami Shaban
Malik
had
was 0 for
6.
2.
Yeah.
Omar Abu 2 for 4. Ryan was 2 for 6. That's you, Ryan. You
I
guys-
don't know
You
how
hit
it
those free
happened.
throws. You hit those free throws. That's the game. That's the
I
tie
don't know
game.
how. Listen, I hit 1 3 and a free throw, and we're in there.
Yeah.
Or I just swing the ball to somebody who hits a 3, but
Yeah.
you know,
Oh man, crazy.
Number
Yeah.
17 on Al-Balah, I noticed he was dribbling with his eyes down, and that's always an
You
opportunity
hate
for
to
the other
see
team.
it.
That's
the
not a good
biggest
opportunity.
demotivator for movement
Yeah.
is if you make a cut and you see your point guard not looking up.
Yeah, that's
Oh my god, I'm never cutting again if that happens to me, dude. Oh my goodness.
that's just what I noticed from the sides. Obviously, always room for improvement for everybody, myself included. But I think there were a couple times when I think I
Malik
noticed that.
Suleiman holding it down in the paint with 3 blocks.
Yeah.
oh my god, yeah, what a defensive
And
presence.
let's not forget play of the week, which we're gonna try to find and link on this podcast. Aboudi, he hit the craziest block in the corner.
Oh my
Jumped
goodness.
up off of 2 feet and smacked the ball into the next universe.
You would have
It
thought he was
insane.
playing. You would have thought he was playing volleyball.
And the stare down too. I'm surprised he didn't get a tech. That was insane.
yeah, no, it was insane, dude. It was a crazy.
That's
block.
why he's on the squad, man.
Yeah.
That's why he's on the squad.
But
man.
also, I would say they were telegraphing a lot of the passes. I think me and Yusuf were noticing when we were watching.
They fixed it up towards the second half of the
Yeah,
game, but
because there were a bunch
first
of
half,
steals from your team because of that. You know what I mean? Just because
Yeah.
the passes were telegraphed. I even remember you picking off a couple of them.
because I'm just ready. I'm
Okay, all right.
usually
I mean,
ready.
not that ready.
All right, bro. Let's. I think it's time to move on. You guys have anything else?
Let's see. Ryan forced a lot of threes. Should have taken it inside.
All right, man. We
Just
went
reading
over
off
this.
the notes, that's all.
No, we went over this. It's
Just reading off the notes. That's all. There was a go-ahead 3 by Al-Balah at the end, and that was pretty much after that. It was about holding the lead. So I would say that was the dagger.
Yeah.
I wish I remember who it was, but definitely a big 3 there. Actually, how many of their players even had threes?
They hit that 3 with like
Couple of
40
them, yeah.
seconds left. I shot maybe
Yeah.
4 threes in the last
Yeah.
40 seconds of the game, trying to.
They hit that 3, and it
Get
was
you back
just,
in the
they kind of
game.
put them
Yeah.
out over it. So
Or maybe I hit 2 and swung 1 to Kareem.
you guys had a surprising amount of air balls.
Yeah,
Like, out of the
not
mid-range.
Not from me though.
No, not from you specifically. I just remember I wrote down there were so many air balls that I wrote it down. I think I remember Omar Abu having a couple air balls, Matic having a couple air balls, like air balls, not even close. Like it was just like
Yeah.
like that's stuff
Tough
that
to see that.
yeah when you're warmed up, these guys obviously I know they can all shoot. Maybe it's the nerves, maybe it's not getting warmed up, but it was a lot of easy misses. I would say this
Also-
I think this honestly I chalk this up to a kind of like a mulligan. Like it's just like this is a game that probably won't happen
It
again
just
for
happens, yeah.
Rafah. It just kind of happens, but
It's gonna happen again next week, probably. But we'll see. We will see. No.
Let's wait until we do
but
predictions.
hats off to
Let's
Al-Balah.
wait.
You guys came out so much more organized than last week. Like you guys
killed it.
You guys
You
actually
guys did a
you
great
played
job.
very well.
Great
You
job.
guys were
Mashallah.
such a difficult
Seriously,
team to play
great
against.
hats off to you guys. Great job.
Mashallah. On another note, I forgot to mention this in the announcement, but there are game recordings, and we will be uploading them to the official Muslim Basketball full game recordings folder.
Is
so
that on YouTube?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be on YouTube.
Tap in.
Yeah, and that will be up by the time this podcast is up, so you can go check out your game, inshallah. All right, let us move on to the next game. Yazur versus Ajjur.
All right. So this is the game that Yazur kind of cemented themselves as the best team in the league.
Second best team.
And it's not close, bro. It's
Power
not
rankings
close.
had them up at the top this time. They're 0 for 2. I mean, they're 2-0, and they blew out both teams by like a ton of points.
Crazy.
Unfortunately, we had to cut the game short. They at one point we were just like, okay, like if you get a 30-point lead, we're gonna have to cut the game short. I'm not sure if we're keeping that rule or not. We kind of had to do it only because we had to get out of the gym by a certain time, and the games ended up running late. So without, that kind of leads us into our next announcement is that please try to get to your game early.
Please, 30 minutes early.
If you are on time or late to the game, it can screw up the entire schedule. You get games that end up having to be cut short, and that's going to be everybody because everybody has 2 p.m. games by the end of the year. Like
we might
the entire
actually have
schedule.
to start implementing. If you have 4 players, you play. If you don't, you can't.
Yeah.
Like games start regardless or something because it's just.
We have to start enforcing because there's no way everything's gonna align with people running 15 minutes behind, and we waiting for like specific people and stuff like that. And once again, I said last week, someone's always gonna have a 2:00 game. It might not be your team this week, but it's gonna be somebody.
We actually have our last 2 p.m. game this week against Ryan's team, so.
So get there on time, please.
That game will be a blowout though, so we won't even have to worry about that.
We'll only need 15 minutes to make quick work.
Ridiculous, bro. We're gonna hit the 30-point mercy rule by like.
We're gonna have 120 points. Okay, halos, bro.
We just gotta do what the other team did last time to you guys. That's all.
All right, back on this game.
got a
Back
good
on this
example.
game.
Let's talk about what we got here.
Dude.
All right,
Oh my
so
goodness.
Kareem Fadl on Ajjur, perfect game, 3 for 3. They probably should have swung on the rock a little more, I will say.
They didn't get the ball.
They only really played a half, honestly. So keep that in mind. Yazur scored 42 points in one half.
It's so dominant. It's ridiculous. Like I don't even know what to say.
You know what they do? You know what they do? Yazur, you notice this right off the bat. They press hard.
They come out of the gate with energy.
Pressing hard and active hands. They get a lot of steals, and they're off to the races. They push that basket so hard. It's just like there were a couple of open threes that they missed, but like you wouldn't even be able to tell. The score was 42-13.
In a half, dude.
It was,
it's ridiculous that their game was cut short, and they still scored more than our game.
Yeah, and they had 3 for 14 from the 3-point line, but they still still scored 42 points.
Your team is making defenses everywhere scream, and we're gonna have to run some drills to.
I know for a fact the week before we play Yazur, we're going to have to meet up and figure something out because
there's absolutely no way I'm gonna get stolen from like that, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get like disrespected on the court like that.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
I think
that being said,
they play very fast.
Yeah, absolutely. They push.
I want to see how they play against a team that kind of controls the tempo a little more and plays a little slower.
Where they control the pace?
Yeah.
That's a good take.
Because I feel like both weeks they kind of played against teams where they were able to control the tempo. So I think the game might look a little differently if it was a little bit slower.
Do you think that the faster team always pushes, like... Do you think the faster team always controls the tempo? Like, how do you get such a fast team to slow down?
I don't know. They were playing like Chino Hill's offense.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
They were really pushing the rock so hard.
Sometimes they don't even have... Like, I was watching their game. And sometimes they don't even have a fifth person on offense. They keep a person back there.
Yeah.
They're like, you don't need me.
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
Yeah. And they're pretty open on most of their shots too, which is
It's crazy.
They have good ball movement.
And not only that, like it's not only they leave one person on defense, they leave one person on offense sometimes too. Like they'll just leave someone half court, defend with 4 people, and chuck it up to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's literally Chino Hill's LaMelo primetime basketball.
They're a scary team. Alassane was their point guard. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. 12 points in the half, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals. Definitely your top performer. You also had Abdurrahman.
Yeah,
sorry.
grabbing 10 boards.
9 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Again, in one half. Like this would have been a monster line if we let it play out.
Yeah. Curious to see how they match up against our team, but that's all I'm gonna say. You're gonna leave it at that. You're gonna leave it at that.
And their third leading scorer, their second technically leading scorer, Sadia Silla, 9.6 rebounds, great efficiency.
Mashallah, very
for
talented.
Fernando.
And you know what? Shout out to Faris Alfar for hitting both his free throws there. That was
That was
impressive.
crazy. Yeah. Great.
But I think that's all the recaps that we have for this week, huh?
Yeah.
Should
Should we
we
look
see
at
how
next week? Yeah, let's
Let's
do
move
some
on to
predictions.
predictions, dude. Oh, here we go.
Okay.
All right. Let's start off from the bottom here. Or we could take
Let's go in order. Let's go in order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first game is Ajjur versus Al-Balah. Al-Balah. Al-Balah.
Yep. So hold on, let me just make sure.
Interesting
So that's the
matchup.
team that won't beat you guys last week versus the team that lost against Yazur this week, right?
Okay.
I think honestly, I think Ajjur's gonna win.
Okay.
When
Interesting.
I can't even gauge Ajjur's the teams that played
Yazur last
Yazur.
week.
Yeah,
No,
I can't even
I'm
gauge
going
what's
against
that
you.
game.
I'm going Al-Balah. I think
Me
Al-Balah is
too.
going to win next
I
week.
think Al-Balah.
Al-Balah just came off of a strong win against Rayyan's team last week. And, you know, their first week was kind of against Yazur. They got kind of pummeled there. But I think that, like, they would... If you actually just look at the half that Ajjur played against Yazur, technically they would be outscoring Al-Balah's attempt against Yazur. You know what I mean? Al-Balah's attempt against Yazur.
Yeah, no, I
but
completely disagree. I think
I think
Ajjur
Al-Balah's
has.
going to win. I think Al-Balah's going to take that.
I think Ajjur has two hustle players that are gonna completely take over the game.
Okay.
One of them is I'm sorry, brother, I don't know your name, but one of them is Tariq.
Okay.
And I remember that because Bubba, obviously.
Yeah.
But the second one is the guy with the long hair, and he always plays with passion. He's always like hustling on defense. He's always trying to run the control the pace of the game. And you're gonna have to step up this week for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, second game, game 2. Bir Seb'a, Mahmoud
Wait,
Zaid's
hold on a
team.
second. Before we go on, I think we were wrong for all 4 of our predictions last week, except Yazur, I think, right?
Wait.
Let's look at that. Let's look at that. I want to make sure.
Did you
first,
write
before,
it down?
I didn't write it down exactly, but
Ooh,
no. I remember them.
we
I
know
remember them.
which ones,
So
yeah.
we said we were going to win against Bir Seb'a. We were wrong. So we were wrong about that.
That's 0 for
We
1.
said that Tulkarem was going to win against Khan Yunis. No, wait. Did we? I think we said Tulkarem was going to win
Tulkarem
because we
was
didn't
gonna-
see
yeah.
Khan Yunis. So we were wrong about that. We said that Rafah was going to beat Al-Balah. We were wrong about that. The only game we were right about was Yazur beating Ajjur.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were
Old
one.
faithful.
Not
We were 1 for 4 last
Yeah,
week,
not
so
a
take
great
these predictions
percentage,
with a
dude.
grain of salt here. But that being said, we have more data points now. I think we have a better, understanding of how these teams play.
honestly, if we think you're gonna lose, that's probably a good thing for you. Consider
Yeah.
25%.
We have the Drakers.
Yeah.
All right, so sorry. Now the game 2.
Game 2, we got Mahmoud Zaid's team with
Bir Seb'a
Ayman
versus Khan Yunis.
and Khan Yunis, which is Omar Khattab's
That's
team.
gonna be a fun matchup to watch.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think so.
I think it's gonna be really fun to watch.
You know why?
Why?
I'm gonna come out with a crazy hot take here. Khan Yunis' team have shooters all around, and they push the pace. Ayman's team has interior defense locked down, but their exterior defense is not great.
Not good on the perimeter.
And that's why-
I disagree. I think Shabazz is really good on the perimeter. I think
He's good on the perimeter.
Zayed can guard at the perimeter. I think.
I don't think Zayd's a good perimeter defender at all, actually.
Hold on, let me look at that team. You have Omar Ataya down low, Ayman down low. Salim's good at perimeter defender, I would say. Yusuf was a good. Yeah, honestly, no. I think their perimeter is fine. I honestly have. This is a tough one. I think it's going to be a close game.
Next
Yeah.
week, Khan Yunis is going to come out shooting, and Bir Seb'a is not going to know what to do.
Really.
I genuinely
So you're
think
taking
that.
Khan Yunis on this?
I think so.
I-
Khan Yunis looked amazing last
Yeah,
game.
they did.
The only reason they have a loss is because they couldn't make it.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm inclined to agree with you on that.
Not to mention they are-
I would take Khan Yunis next week.
I think so as well. I mean, what do you think?
We're counting
Right.
out Zayed's team twice in a row now, but you know,
Man.
I don't know.
Man.
Amen
Yeah,
is a
that team-
5-time champion. He's gonna pull up like Kobe.
you know, I'm happy with. I don't think either of these takes are egregious. Like, you know what I mean? Either one is kind of like
It's gonna be a good game for sure.
yeah.
These are
This is
both
gonna
very
be nailed
strong
on.
teams.
So far,
Very, very
a
strong
really
teams.
good matchup for both games next week. You guys want to move on to the next one?
Oh, all right. We
Yeah.
got Tulkarem, which is
Okay, so this is the first test that Yazur is gonna have, I think.
you are mad disrespectful.
Yeah, that's pretty disrespectful.
That's
man.
so
To be
wild.
fair, let's be honest here. Both teams that Yazur played the first time scored 15 points or less.
The thing
They
is,
were blown out by over 30 points both
the
times.
thing is, we don't know.
Tulkarem is 1-1, 2 strong showings,
All right.
60 points pretty much that they scored.
Let me tell you why.
And then 48.
Let me tell you why that doesn't make sense. When Al-Balah played a decent team, a good team,
Ryan's team.
Ryan's team,
Over
they
2.
played well.
So
they played
play
extremely
play
well.
up
So
to-
you don't know if
That's true.
it's
No, that's true. That's
Yazur
true.
playing really
That's
well
true.
or if it's Al-Balah playing
That's
bad.
true. However, I would say Tulkarem has a good amount of ball handlers. They are way more likely to beat the press than the other two teams are.
I do agree with that.
So I think that
I
this
do
is the
agree.
first test that
Okay.
Yazur is going to have because they're actually going to be able to get to the offensive side of the court without being
This is going to be a
stripped.
good game.
It's going to be fun to watch
It's
for
gonna be a
sure.
good game.
I still think Yazur is going to win. They're 2-0. They showed their dominance for the first 2 weeks.
I think these matchups this week, like you could have
best
made
match.
them
I
better.
think these are the best matchups we've had so
You
far.
could not have
for
made
sure.
them better.
I think Yazur is going to take the win this week, but I don't. I think that this is going to be their biggest test that they've had so far.
Yeah.
Tulkarem is the best team that they're going to have first, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Can't wait to
so
watch that
we
one.
got who do we have for the first one? I said
Can we write these down?
Ajjur.
Yeah, I'm going to write him down actually.
All right.
I said Ajjur for the first one. You guys both said Al-Balah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said Yunis for the second one. I'm not sure which one you guys chose.
I agreed with you.
And I
Okay.
went Bir Seb'a.
All right, so we got split decision again.
Hold on, so-
that's an upset actually, because technically they're ranked higher, right?
Yeah.
And then the third one we got.
You chose Ajjur in the first week, Yusuf?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tariq, don't let me down, bro. Don't let me down. And then for game 3, we have Tulkarem versus Yazur, and we definitely think Yazur is
You're
going
going to have
to win.
to slow down, brother. Yusuf, you chose... Oh, you chose Bir Seb'a, right?
Yeah, Ryan chose
yeah. Bir Seb'a. And then you guys chose Khan Yunis.
And then, what's the third one? Tulkarem and Yazur?
Yeah. Bro.
And then we all picked Yazur?
I think
Good
so, yeah.
luck, Subhan, bro. Yo, Subhan.
If they win, this is a statement.
Yeah,
If they win,
yeah,
this
yeah,
Oh,
if
yeah.
Tulkarem wins,
Tulkarem,
this
if
is
you
a
look to win
statement.
this week, because if you win this week, you upset the entire order of the league.
Bro, Subhan, I need you to kick the hell off,
If
bro.
you win this week, even if Bir Seb'a, Mahmoud Zaid's team wins and they're 3-0, you guys are at the top of the power rankings.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think.
with that.
Yeah.
I'm with
Yeah.
that.
And then
They're disgusting.
Akka versus Rafah, I think we all agree that Akka is going to win this game. So, all three.
You know what? Yeah, all three of us. Yeah. All three of us. Because our predictions haven't been too kind. So yeah.
So maybe, either way you're going to win. You're either going to be right on the predictions or you'll win the game, right? So
Yeah,
that's
gotta
a good-
hedge my bets, right? Yeah.
Dude, ridiculous, dude. Yeah, no,
Sorry.
I think Ekka's definitely gonna take this one. I don't think it's gonna be close even. I would actually say I don't think Rafah is gonna score a point for the first 5 minutes of the game.
Wow.
And I am
Interesting
making
take.
that statement, and I am guarding their leading scorer next week.
Okay, he's gonna be guarding Sammy Shah.
Look for the
inshallah.
footage.
He's gonna be. We gotta see if they let Kane's on the court. But man, with a Kane, he'll still drop.
With that being said, we are going to probably link that top play, hopefully.
Inshallah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
we're gonna try to
Yeah.
cut up the
Abdullah
video.
Mahmoud,
Yeah.
what a
Get
beast.
Abdullah
I
Mahmoud
honestly
in
think
there.
we're
What a
gonna
beast.
try to scope out when we're watching the games 3 top plays for every week, and if we see them, because we're trying to record the games, I think we're doing it on our phones anyway, so we might as well, and we might just put them as a segment at the end of our podcast here, and give you guys an opportunity to watch the skill of some of your players. All right, sounds good.
Are we missing anything? Do we have any more
Any
segments?
announcements? Anything?
I think that's it.
I think we should re-highlight the fact that we are respecting all refs.
Yep.
Okay, we're showing up early.
We're showing up
Showing up
early.
early.
What else
We
do
are
we have?
recording games, so check out your game.
Okay.
And spread the word about the podcast, honestly, and introduce yourselves to us, please.
Yeah, come
I don't
talk
want
to
to
us.
say number 3, number 6, whatever it is. I'd like to say your names. I'd like to know who you are. So.
Also, the first game of this last week was not recorded, and only half of the second game was recorded. The fourth game was a blowout. So the only full game that was recorded was actually the third game.
We're gonna look to record more of the games.
Inshallah, yeah, we'll be
Again,
recording from the beginning.
If we
next
need,
time, inshallah.
we do need volunteers, especially for the first game. We're against Ryan's team. Right now, I don't think we have anybody to record it. But
Yeah.
so volunteers, would be helpful for sure for that. It's not that hard. You just have to move the camera over to follow the ball, pretty much.
Yeah.
Hey, that's kind of difficult sometimes. I'm just putting out a disclaimer. I'm just putting out a disclaimer now.
All right, I think that's.
Thank you
that's
guys
all we
for
got,
watching.
Thanks for watching. If you've gotten this far, and look forward to seeing you guys next week, inshallah.
Week 3 coming up.
So.
If you're listening to this in the car, don't miss your exit, okay? Don't miss your exit. I'm talking to you, Malik.
Ryan, you're going 0 for 9 this week.
Oh my god.